everybody. Yet another analogy / explanation video. I want to talk about sort of an analogy as to how and why you get these explosive outbursts from somebody who's a cluster B personality, not just narcissistic, but borderlines, bipolars, etc. And kind of sort of a comparison, a real life analogy in comparison to the mechanics at work. You get these explosive outbursts. Some people like it for, in the case of NPD, they call it narc rage or narcissistic rage. But there is sort of more of a subtle mechanism that belies it. So I don't know that rage is necessarily 100% accurate. This is what I want to compare a narcissist to, and some of these people who are disordered. The people who blame shift, the people who go into a fit of rage for small trivial things. You have the psychological construction of the false self and the inner self. The inner self being your true inner child, the low self-esteem, low self-worth, identity, and then you have the false self, which is the grandiose exterior, the persona that they project, etc. The analogy I want to give is to like the M1 Abrams tank, and I want to point out this tank specifically for a number of reasons. So a tank in general is an armored vehicle that can deal with quite a bit of heavy fire. It plows through everything in its path. It carries with it a very, very big gun capable of dealing shit tons of damage, and is very armored. So seemingly it is very difficult to penetrate this armor and very difficult to bring any harm to the tender, delicate, juicy, fleshy soldiers on the inside. And this is a very good, accurate description, I think, of some of these people who wreak havoc driving through people's lives and causing chaos and destruction. The reason why I cite the M1 Abrams in particular as a special kind of armor that I believe is very relevant, it has something called reactive armor, which is basically armor that explodes when it's shot with something. So instead of it just being regular thick metal, reactive armor has a layer of explosives on the outside. You can think of it as, for all intents and purposes, think of it as like a blanket of grenades sewn together. It's not actually grenades. They're closer to C4 claymores, but that's not really relevant. But the point of it is, if you can imagine a tank covered with grenades, so that when the tank is shot at, explosions go off. And that is what you see when you trigger someone who's disordered and you get that explosive response and that explosive reaction. It is a defense mechanism. They're the ones that have that are easy to injure. They're fleshy, they're delicate, they got low self-esteem, they don't have a lot of innate protection. Just like soldiers out on a battlefield, if you're just a dude running around on a battlefield these days, you're toast. I mean, we got airplanes and helicopters flying overhead, we've got satellites, and we've all seen the war coverage of the drone footage and the Taliban strikes and all of that, right? So they are someone who has been injured, or they're easy to injure because they're insecure, or because they have low self-esteem, or because they have low self-worth, and they have developed this armor around them. And so when you interact with this person, you're not truly interacting with the tank driver. You are, but you're not. If you're going up against a tank, you're interacting with the tank, not the tank crew on the inside. You are, but you're not. Okay. And this is one reason why it seems like anytime you try to talk to them, like nothing seems to get through to them. This is why they are so hard-headed. This is why nothing seems to work. You can't reason with them. You can't rationalize with them. You can't really attack them. And even the slightest jest, injury, they perceive that as being attacked, and you get that explosive reactive armor response. Anyways, the M1 Abrams is a really cool tank. I would definitely recommend going and checking it out, just so you can see videos of this reactive armor in action. I think that will bring some further clarity to the picture I'm trying to draw for you. Now, what happens when you get this kind of reaction? Like what precipitates their definition of an attack? It comes down to any time they're wrong, or could be viewed as wrong, or even suggested that they're wrong. Anything that is not them being awesome, or anything that cannot show that they were an innocent victim of a situation out of their control. So if they were in a situation that was under their control, and they got butt hurt, that's a trigger. Anything that can be demonstrably shown that they are wrong is a trigger. There's a number of different things that will trigger this kind of reaction. So, but what do you do once you get this reaction? Well, sometimes, for those of us who are stuck with this at home with nowhere else to go, you have to understand this. What they are doing when you get this reactive response, this rage, this misplaced anger, this is treating feelings first. So feelings over fact. Okay. If they, for instance, forgot that you don't like your eggs with a lot of salt, and they put a ton of salt on your eggs, right? And you take a bite of your eggs, and you're like, oh god, this is salty. They're gonna go off on a rage because it's like, I don't like my eggs with salt. Oh, well, blah 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 blah, and I had the children were screaming at me, and you're screaming at me, and blah 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 blah, and I just can't do anything right. What you have to do is you have to immediately address the non-necessity of the explosive response. You can say, nobody's attacking you, and one of the best responses that I think I've ever heard is this: you do not need to raise your voice about this, okay? I understand you're upset right now, but this is not something that you need to raise your voice about. I'm not raising my voice, and this is something. I'm not raising my voice when I'm speaking to you. You don't need to raise your voice at me, okay? We can agree on the fact that we don't need to raise our voice. We can talk about the eggs. It's not that big a deal. I'm not worried about it. I'll just toss them and make a new batch. Like, there's no reason. You do not, or I wouldn't say there's no reason, because to them there is a reason. You say it's not necessary for you to raise your voice about this. I understand you're upset and you're angry, but there is not a good reason to raise your voice. If you can see me, I can hear you. Right? You can see me? Good. I can hear you. So take it down a notch, because eggs aren't worth it. Okay? They continue on. What you have to do is do not engage the baits, because what they will often do is come up with loaded responses. And what a loaded response is it's something that they've learned when they say something or ask a question or do something and they know your typical response, they already know how to flip it on you. So a loaded response is something like, where they already know every single way to prove you to be the one at fault. Okay? You have to absolutely ignore loaded responses because that's what you're going to get. Okay? You make your focus about not raising your voice. Okay? It's like, well, but I got this, blah, 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 blah. It's like, hey, I understand. Don't raise your voice. I'm not raising my voice. You don't need to raise your voice. You don't need to talk to me like that either. Okay? And they keep on, you don't need to talk to me like that. You don't. There is not a need to talk like that. There is not a need to be raising your voice. And make the focus solely about the volume of their voice. Right? You're like, you can tell me about it in a calm voice. You're not going to speak to me in that tone of voice. And stick to it until they calm down. Because as long as you do not engage the loaded questions until they're calm, do not respond to anything that they say, because those are all baits. Those are things that they've taken inventory of throughout the course of your relationship with this person. And so anything and everything that they say is done strictly to incite you to anger, and then to be able to flip it on you so that they don't have to accept responsibility for their faults. It's not even a big deal if they do or don't accept responsibility. 95% of the time, nobody could really give a shit, even if they did say, oh, that's totally my fault. Like, nobody's going to be angry, right? They're the only ones that are angry because they have this issue with accepting fault. So, and they don't want to accept the fault. They want to flip it on you. And the way that they're going to do that, once again, is with the loaded questions that follow that explosive response. So understand that anytime you get an explosive response, everything that's going to follow is loaded, and you do not engage it. You focus instead on getting them to use a calm tone of voice. And once they realize that you're denying them that opportunity to get you with a loaded question, and that you're not going to speak to them until they calm the fuck down, then maybe their fixations will release just a little bit, and maybe then they'll calm down and they'll be like, whatever, fuck you, make your own eggs. I will, right? Or you just, once they dismiss you, like, fuck you, go make your own eggs, just be like, thank you, right? Once they disengage and disconnect and go into what I call power save mode, you just say thank you, and that's it. You don't push the issue with them, because the next thing that's going to do is that's just going to come around and precipitate yet another explosive response. Okay? They are irrational people, meaning that they put feelings over facts. Okay? Facts do not matter. What matters is they're angry right now, and all of the events, all of the facts, people, all the who, what, when, where, how, and why are subjective. They're angry, and they're going to arrange their understanding of everything in such a way that they are justified in being angry. That's how irrational people work. Whatever emotion it is they are feeling, they change their understanding of the who, what, when, where, how, and why to justify that feeling. And as a result, you get gaslighting as an unintended side effect of this psychology. They don't even really realize that they're doing it. They're changing their version of events to suit their current feelings. And that makes you go damn crazy, because you only have one memory of how shit went down. So I'm out of time. Thank you very much for listening. Please like, comment, or share. And